Hi everyone, welcome to September. This is the coming up video where I'm going to be talking about a bit of personal update stuff and mainly channel stuff, mostly the games that are coming up this month and that you can vote on. The vote is about to go up when this video does on my Patreon, patreon.com/slickerdrips, if you would like to get involved and have a say and help me keep making all of this stuff. So first of all, there's going to be a personal update, a health update with the shoulder and stuff. So last month, I was saying that I've been told it's going to be a couple of weeks. I've done something to my collarbone, and should be right as rain very soon. Turns out when I went back for a follow-up appointment, probably not long after I did that video actually, and saw a specialist about it rather than the A&E doctor. It's like, no, it's actually the shoulder blade, possibly something in the collarbone too, but it's going to be a lot longer. It's going to be 4 more weeks in the sling, a nicer sling admittedly, and a much more comfortable sling, and then 2 weeks after that. That's what I'm in at the moment, so I'm kind of weaning myself off the sling. I'm mostly not wearing it. I am wearing it at times where I find I've got a terrible habit of slipping back into leaning on my elbows, which does end up really hurting my shoulder, but in a way that you only realise when you lift back off that, oh wow, this really, really hurts and I shouldn't have been doing that. So the sling stops me leaning my elbow on this table. But yeah, mostly off it and mostly not in pain anymore. Generally, it's more, aching from getting all of the muscles back working again. But what does this amount to on the channel? It means that not really much happened in August. I was thinking less would happen, but I didn't think I would be so restricted. I didn't think it was going to be as painful. I was kind of hoping when I went back for that follow-up appointment that he was going to say, oh no, it isn't your collarbone at all. You remember when he wasn't sure at the A&E? It turns out it was nothing and you can just get back to it. Turns out, yeah, it was much worse than I thought. But it's, coming out the other end of it now, and so hopefully can make up for what didn't happen in August in September. So Trois Solo won the vote, and that is absolutely going to be coming up. Oh yeah, just in terms of playthroughs in general, so there's probably going to be a little bit longer, maybe a week or so more of just being able to film static camera things. If you've seen in the overviews that have come up for Kickstarters, and I've done Baron Park, The Bad News Bears as a playthrough, just got the static camera at the moment because I can't really move the equipment around. I can move some of the stuff, the lighter stuff like the light stuff, but I can't move the table and the great big tripod with the weights and stuff yet, very easily anyway. But I just got to the point where First Impressions had the game in shot as well, but that's going to have to hold off for a little bit. So yeah, Trois is coming up. Baron Park is filmed, edited, going to be up this week, I would imagine. Rachel's Top 10, very, very long awaited. We said that was coming for ages and ages. We finally filmed it on Sunday, and I'm really excited that Rach is not only in a video again, but giving her opinion on games, which she was very unsure about doing, but I think she did fantastically. And other games that were up for the vote last month, like Imperial, I've gone on and on about it, and I would really, really like to get it done this month. Project Elite, the update, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a kind of frantic real-time game suitably as a playthrough, but there'll be something for the Project Elite update anyway. We've also played a few games of My City. We played the first chapter, which is the first 3 games. That's Rainer Knizia's tile-laying game, kind of a bingo game. You draw a card, everyone finds that tile and places it somewhere in their city, but it's legacy. It's going over, I think, 24 games, gradually introducing more and more things as you go. So we've only played 3 of those. We have filmed 1 of them, and I think we're going to film some more because it's our playthrough. It's Rach and I's legacy game. We can't really repeat it to play with Little Glass Marty. So we're gonna try and film a little bit more. I would hope that we can get to the end before we do the first impressions, but maybe it'll just be that the playthrough goes up without any first impressions, and then we do that a bit later, or I do that a bit later. Rach doesn't really want to be generally in first impressions. And Demeter, it's a fantastic flip and fill game about space dinosaurs. I would really like to get that up as well. And the Back to the Future Dice Through Time as well. All things from last month's work that I'm not going to put in this month's, but yeah, really they're top priority at the moment. So games for this month then. First of all, Pendulum, which is the new game from Stonemaier. This is a real-time sand timer game, but it's competitive. So I've seen it in things like Tale of Pirates and Kitchen Rush / Rush MD, where we are cooperatively using these sand timers. This time it's competitive, but the sand timers it's a worker placement game where there's basically 2 rows of identical actions, and the sand timer will be in one of those rows. You have to place your workers in the rows that don't have sand timers, and then when the sand timers flip, there are different lengths of time in them. When they flip, you can take the actions of where your workers are, where there is sand timers. And if your workers are in the other rows, now they're free to move to other places where there aren't sand timers. And you are trying to accumulate some stuff, but mainly get these victory wins. Move across these tracks into the parchment zone to qualify to win the game. That will be a solo playthrough if that wins, which, I've never not been wowed by Automa Factory, so very much looking forward to what they've done in that. I've only played it competitively so far. Village Green is a puzzly card game from Pierre Sylvester and Osprey Games that looks absolutely beautiful, but you are building a grid basically of the Village Green with various statues and flowers and things, and so you have this 3x3 grid that you will end up with. You are restricted in placing your cards, that you can only place a flower next to another one if it shares either a type or colour, so you very, very quickly can get yourself boxed in if you don't think about it a lot. And there is a kind of frame around the top, the top and the left of your Village Green that has scoring conditions for that particular row or column, and so that guides how you play as well. Or you can play it competitively, which we've done and enjoyed, where you are allowed to override these award cards, your point scoring cards, if things change. In the solo game, you have to play Village Green cards. You have the option to in the competitive game. In the solo game, you cannot cover them. Usually, you sometimes get to, but mainly you can't cover these award cards. So once they're placed, they're set in stone. So it's a lot more restrictive. But for such a simple seeming game, it's a kind of can end up being a brutally difficult puzzle. That's Village Green. School of Sorcery is a kind of update, expanding of the Institute for the Magical Arts, a game from a few years ago now, a 2-player area control game from Steve Finn, who does incredible small box games. Biblios Dice, Herbaceous, Little Flower Shop, Cosmic Run, which also got kind of redone with extra stuff with Cosmic Run Regeneration. You can find playthroughs for both of those on the channel, but very much looking forward to revisiting that because it's been a long time since we played and seeing what has changed in it. The Search for Planet X is a deduction and logic puzzle game from Ben Rossett and Matthew O'Malley, who I thought they sound familiar when I got the game. They designed Between Two Cities and Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. You can see a playthrough for the latter on the channel. Both fantastic games, but this is, as I said, a deduction game. It's app-based. The app will give you clues, and the number of clues you get can be variable based on difficulty that you choose. So if you're playing with younger players or people that are not great at deduction games, you can vary the level of difficulty, but you are trying to find Planet X. There are certain rules that are in place all the time about where it can be, what it can be next to, what asteroids can be next to, but also you can do research on your turn, which can allow you to find the special rules that are in place for your game that will tell you there are 2 asteroids next to these empty spaces or within 2 spaces of them, something like that. That's, bit by bit with all of these clues, and you're going to find out where these things are. And every now and then we have to submit research, so we have to place these tiles down face down, and every time they're going to slide down until they revealed, and I keep missing words out, until they are revealed, and this is what being out of practice does to you, until they're revealed, and that shows everybody what you thought it was. But when it gets checked, we find out what was true or not, and then everybody else has got more information about what is there, and you're going to be punished if you were wrong about it, and rewarded at the end of the game if you were right. But yeah, really, really great deduction game, and it's got a solo mode, which I haven't played yet. I only played it competitively and really, really enjoyed it there, but looking forward to how it works solo as well. Thunderstone Quest is not brand new, but it's kind of new to us, and we've played it before and very much enjoyed it, kind of the culmination, the refining of the Thunderstone process. We only played original Thunderstone and a load of expansions, never played Advance, but Quest definitely blows the original out of the water as far as I'm concerned. it's a massive deck builder with a load of stuff in the box. We're traveling around dungeons and killing monsters and recruiting new adventurers to try and get the most points, basically. It does away with a lot of fiddly rules about light and stuff that original Thunderstone has and really smooths the whole thing out. But what I'd kind of been holding out for and waiting for was the Barricades mode, which can turn the whole thing cooperative, which I love to do, and I think it works very, very well. So it would be a playthrough of the Barricades mode of Thunderstone Quest. Another couple of games that aren't brand new, but kind of new to my collection I'd like to show off. Roll for Adventure is from Brett Gilbert and Matthew Dunstan. It's a lighter dice placement cooperative game where you have these 4 different zones and they all want different dice and will allow you to complete them in different ways. So one has like 2s, 3s and 4s on it, and you need to place 4 2s and then you unlock one bit of it, and then 4 3s and you unlock another bit of it. And they can be anybody's dice, but when you complete a zone, it gives you a gem. You need a certain number of these gems to win based on your difficulty, and all of the zones have different requirements. And so one is going to be like a big line of either 5s or 6s, and every time you complete it, the requirement is going to get bigger and bigger. You're going to need more and more dice to complete that again and again. And there's one zone that can reward you with bonus dice and stuff. And at the end of every turn, of course, monsters are going to come out and mess with your dice, remove them from the board and put them into the danger zone. It's like the realm of oblivion or something like that. Or if there are no dice there for them to remove, it damages the zone, and each has got a health track, and if any get to the end of their health track, then you lose the game. Really, really great dice placement co-op game. And also Neom, which is a city building game, which I feel like I missed out on a couple of years ago, because originally it had some take that in. It had these disasters that you do to other players' cities and things, which I'm not interested in at all. It's from Lookout Games. And over the course of its release and stuff, I think maybe with the help of Rado, or maybe Rado was the instigator of it, these disasters got made optional. Ways of playing were added by the designer to play without them, and from all I hear about it, it was a really fantastic city building game. So should I check it out? And I haven't played this one yet, but I am quite pumped to. Neom. And then I don't usually do this. I don't usually put games that I haven't fully got in my hands on the list in case they don't arrive and stuff. But I don't get to do another one of these videos for another month. So I think I'm just going to throw them in, and if the worst should happen and they win the vote and don't get here in time, they will just, I'll just have to do the second option and they get done another month or something. But there are some great things to talk about. So Mariposas, which is the new game from Elizabeth Hargrave, the designer of Wingspan. Absolutely fantastic Wingspan. That's there somewhere. And it's another great big game. It's butterfly themed. Literally all I needed to know. Definitely has got the pedigree to make me very excited about it. And then we've got Role Player Fiends and Familiars, new expansion for Role Player. I absolutely loved what the monsters and minions added. Really cool diversions to the already great character building of the base game. So would you like to see a new playthrough with all of the things turned on maybe? Glasgow is a new 2-player only game from Lookout Games. Really like their series of, Patchwork, of course, Tramban. Suddenly realised as I started this list that they're the only 2 I can think of right now. Oh, and Agricola, All Creatures Big and Small, and Le Havre, the Inland Port. Of course, those ones. But yeah, that's... and Clemens Franz Art. Again, that's all that's tempted me in with Glasgow. And these kind of things have piled up a little bit that I've kind of been delaying things or... delaying things really until I was sure that I could get back to filming stuff. So didn't really get much sent to me in the main of August. Alma Mater. Is that how you say it? Alma Mater? That's how you say it, isn't it? It's one of those 2, surely. It is the new game from the designers of Coimbra, which was a very good Euro from a couple of years ago. And it's like school themed in it. So that's, again, it's mainly just designer pedigree that I am excited about. Unlock, fantastic series of escape room themed puzzle games. Yeah, it's not really a playthrough that you're voting for here, is it? But there's a Star Wars one. Would you like to hear about the Star Wars one? And even if things don't win the vote, the number of votes things get guides what you would like to see most, guides what I'm probably going to make. And then also, the upcoming games from Board and Dice that I'm very excited about. Tekhenu Obelisk of the Sun, which is Daniel Tascini, designer of Teotihuacan, and David Turczi, who designed the solo mode for that, but they have collaborated on the whole design for this. And I'm not sure if this is going to arrive in time this month, but hey, it's coming up at some point. It's Tawantinsuyu, which is from David on his own, the Inca Empire. Great big meaty Euro games. Very excited, just as well from designer and publisher pedigree. So they aren't in my hands yet, but fingers crossed will be in soon time. So yeah, I think that's all we have for coming up for September. The summary of it, a lot more than there was in August, I hope. The album is staying as Senor Rubinos Black Terry Cat because I don't think she got shown off very much in the last month with not many of these videos being filmed. But again, I would encourage you to listen to it because it's beautiful, and maybe that's what I'll go and do now. Thank you for watching this though. Again, if you'd like to support me, it's patreon.com/slickerdrips, and I hope you look forward to the stuff that's coming up this month. Bye everyone.